Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, also known as the Chatty Penpal channel, and I have a super fun tutorial for you. Together we are going to make this folding Happy Meal. As you can hear, the title of this is still a work in process, I never know. So, I'm a brand representative for Craftbird. Craftbird is a Dutch webshop and that has the cutest scrapbooking goodies. And they sent me a parcel with this, that was Noose by the way, with this Jen Hadfield collection called Peaceful Heart. It's absolutely perfect because it has soft colors, flowers, butterflies, botanical elements, and self-care items, which I absolutely love. So I knew I had to make something for my pen pal Jenny. The first thing I'm doing is, of course, grabbing some papers. I grabbed 2 papers from the collection and I thought looked nice. And then I wanted kind of a single color, simple background without a busy print, basically. So I am going through my stack of Flow magazine papers. And I end up going with this mauve purple that actually matches really well with the collection. So this is a little difficult. And I also have to admit that it's not difficult at all. But explaining it is difficult. Once you know what to do, it's super simple. But I also make a mistake. So look at what I'm doing. But I think the most important part is just have fun and use it as inspiration and maybe mess around a little bit, which is definitely what I did. So what you're going to do is you're going to create 3 different pockets. You could do 3 of the same size, but I'm so sorry for the top of my head. I did 3 different ones so that it was kind of like different in size. I don't know, I liked that. You could do same size, just do whatever you feel like. Create 3 that are the same in width but different in height so that you get that kind of stairs effect. Then what you do is you create a pocket out of it. I do this by scoring the bottom, which you will fold in, and scoring the one side. I scored mine on the left, which will create that glue flap. I will put the measurements in the description down below, don't worry. So you can see I scored it down the middle, and then I scored 1 glue flap on the side and 1 glue flap at the bottom. But because you only need 1 glue flap, I'm actually going to cut 1 off. So one side, you don't need it. If you test this out, it will become very clear what I mean. But like I said, it's a little difficult to explain. So you just cut off 1 of the flaps because you only need 1. And then what I ended up doing, what you would normally do when you create a pocket, is you would just put glue on the 1 flap and on the bottom flap and then glue it in. But because we are going to connect these pockets, I actually glue the bottom flap onto the next project. And as you can see, there's the bottom flap, and I glue it into the next project. This is a little difficult to explain, but you will see that it's actually really simple. So you can see, next glue flap, shove it into the bottom, and then I could explain all of this, but once you start messing around with this, you will realize which glue flap you can cut off, or which one makes sense or which one does not. And what I messed up here is that I wanted to do all of my fold lines on the right, but because of the way I had to fold it, one of them ends up being on the left. And I cannot explain to you how to do that differently, or I can actually, because all you need to do is have your middle pocket. Okay, this is going to make so much sense. If you cut off all of the glue flaps on the left, the middle one will have to be cut off on the right. I could try and explain it, but you know, you're going to see. And if not, you can just follow along and it will work out fine. I know this sounds messy, but I craft like this all the time. I make mistakes and I fix them, and it's part of my process. I don't mind it at all, because it actually sometimes you just have to be extra creative, and that turns out extra fun. What you could also do, which might actually be way easier, is just create 3 normal pockets and then connect them with a washi tape or with an extra paper strip or something like that. Because of course this was a fun idea, but it is also a little more difficult. But that is fine. So for the middle pocket, we do not... never mind, I guess. You actually fold the glue flap backwards instead of to the front. But like I said, I didn't follow a tutorial for this. For me, it was all very intuitively, because once you start working with it and once you start folding everything and putting everything together, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Except me putting glue on the wrong side of the glue flap here. So I'm sorry that this is not as clear as I would like it to be, but I think what I did, you could quickly see at the beginning, is I made a mini version with some scrap paper I had lying around. Or sometimes I will use like printer paper or magazine paper just to create a test version. To try that out. And I'm sorry for the top of my head every time. That just means that I was in the zone. I didn't worry about the camera. I was just crafting and happy. And this is a project I made during my break, and I really like how it turned out. I don't know if it has been received because I haven't spoken to my pen pal yet, but I sent it out a couple months ago, so I think it has. Then in order to create a more aesthetically pleasing look, because of course you can see the gap here, which I didn't like, I ended up sticking some washi tape in between. Of course, looking back, you could, like I said, have also connected the pockets with that simple washi tape strip. But I guess the way I did it now just kind of reinforced it a little bit. Yep. So this is just the process, and then afterwards we are going to go to decorating, which I really like. This is the base. That little notebook is what I wrote my letter in, because people sometimes send me, or I receive little notebooks, and then I usually, to be honest, don't know what to do with them. I actually decided to write my letter in one, and that turned out wonderfully. So I'm going to decorate that notebook off camera and include that as well. I did a lot of crafting off camera, such as the layout of this. I'm just showing you how I put it together now. I have this one cut apart. This is the envelope I ended up making off camera as well. A box envelope. There's a tutorial for box envelopes linked down below if you want to try it out. I have that one cut apart that says thank you, but I never make thank you cards, so I ended up just gluing that embellishment over the thank you part, because I do really like the card. I just didn't want the thank you to be on there. The embellishment that is on that little rosette is actually made by my pen pal Cheryl. That came out really weird. She's super talented. I will link her channel and everything down below as well. She sent me these quite a while ago, and I realized they are the same collection that I'm using now. So I usually when pen pals, I always ask you guys this as well, usually when pen pals send me handmade things, I will keep them for a very long time and not use them, because it feels weird to include someone else's artwork in my artwork. But this is the first time I actually ended up using something made by someone else, and I kind of like it. Like, it has something. I did write, I'm pretty sure, and I'm like 99% sure in the letter I wrote that my pen pal Cheryl made it. But it is kind of fun as well to send another pen pal something that my other pen pal has sent, if that makes sense. So this page is rather simple. I just added some white and gold pen around the edges, and I kind of like that. And then what I'm doing here is kind of funny. I wanted a simple background color page to balance out the busier prints from the other ones. And then I got that blank page fright, and I ended up doodling on the page, which I never ever do. I ended up doodling all around the page where that die cut would go. I kind of followed the example of the bottom pocket. I made it kind of the same style as that. And I was happily surprised. I overdid it a little bit. It's a little too busy, but once I started, I couldn't stop. I say this all the time, but I cannot draw. All I did was draw little flower doodles and little leaves and little moons and little stars, which is the same as is on the front pocket. And then, as you can see, I stuck down that yoga lady cut apart, and I just did some gold flakes all around it, and that was it. The only thing I do not like about this pocket is that the inside of the page, because it is from a magazine, still has that magazine image. So when I put the notebook inside, which you will see later on in this video, you can't really see it anymore, but the inside of the pocket is not as pretty, and it kind of shows. So what I'm doing here is I am creating a little banner that says Jenny, because that's my pen pal's name. This is a word punch. I also got that from Craftbird. Really fun. So sorry. So sorry. I promise you, if you're new to my channel, not all of my videos include the top of my head. I pinky promise. But sometimes when I forget there's a camera there, this just happens, I guess. So because the background of this, like the fish print is also kind of busy, I didn't want to cover it up too much. So I'm just going to end up using some stickers from album Love Handmade. Just using some like reinforcement stickers, I guess. You will see it at the end as well. And then I wasn't sure, it still looked too empty, so I'm gonna add some little stickers to the sides of that as well. This is definitely something I want to learn and I'm not comfortable with yet, not doing too much to a page, because I already like that print of the fishies, and then I want to cover it. I don't want to cover it up, but I end up feeling like it's too empty, and I'll continue, and I'll continue, and I'll continue, and then I won't like it anymore. So that was a learning process for sure. It's also kind of a random print, right? It has like the fish. I mean, that's kind of original, but I like it. Then I'm going to cut out these tags. I think I start off with 3 or 4, but I end up taking one out because it doesn't, like when I send it out, I mean, I think on camera I will include 3 and then in the end I will send. Or do I include 4? I forgot. But in the end, before I send it out, I take one out simply because it doesn't sit right. It does not sit right. Yep. But I do like these. I mean, adoy. This is just me messing around with the tags. And then in the last clip I will show you all of the goodies I ended up including, because I did not do that on camera. I'm not actually including that tea, I'm finishing the meal while drinking this lovely cinnamon tea that was sent to me by Chris. Very cool package. A very cool package. I don't know what else to say about it. So here is what I included. First of all, we have this little gift bag with all of these items. I included a bunch of those sticker girls that I printed and cut out. I think they're not stickers though, they are actually just paper, but some of those. These pretty stickers. This is the envelope. I already showed it, but I also made that off camera, which is why I'm showing it up close. Yep. And then I ended up including why am I not showing that? Am I not showing that? That is so weird. Ugh, I decorated the tag. I mean, I decorated the booklet for my letter, but somehow I didn't show it. I will include a clip at the end. That's really weird. I wonder why I didn't show that. But okay, this is the mail as I ended up making it. I hope you like it. A big thank you to my awesome patrons. And if you liked it, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell because I won't be uploading regularly anytime soon. And follow me on Instagram if you want to see more. Okay, bye!